Well, I got started in travel kind of in a funny way because I made YouTube videos to show how special these products were. I've been going to Italy and I was bringing back exports and imports into our Italian market. And so I felt like I was just really taken aback by how wonderful these small family production places are. And I just wish everyone knew, once I got the products back on the shelf, I just wish everyone knew how special these products were. If they could see Ernesto and his brother in the field with all these workers drying tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, or Massimo raking salt in the Sicilian salt flats. He and his wife and child live in a windmill for 3 months during production time, and he's raking the flour of the salt off the top, and she's packaging it, and the daughter's putting the stickers on and boxing it, and eventually it gets shipped to Coco's Italian market. I just needed to tell that story, so I started making the YouTube videos, and the foodies who love the Food Network and whatnot, they're like, "Hey Chuck, can I go with you? I love this. I want to go with you." So me and the exporter kind of got together, and we started bringing people. And we're not tour guides or anything like that. And the trips were stupidly expensive. We're paying retail price for hotels and flights and whatever. I'm organizing it for people. I'm talking $8,000 for 10 days, not including your airfare, just because I don't know what I'm doing. And well, that was kind of the start of it. And people were happy, and it went really well. And then one day I helped a friend of mine, and he had his parents and his children, and it was like 8 people, 11 days, but it was a big trip. Long story short, it was $40,000. He gives me his credit card. I swipe his credit card, and I'm thinking to myself, what happens if he's got kids and the parents, and I don't know anything about travel insurance. I'm just helping a friend, and I'm like, I'm going to get in trouble, kind of thing. So I still want to do the trips. People love it, and they're asking me all the time. So finally I go to a travel agency, and I start putting the trips together there. And of course that's better because there's travel insurance and a real professional, behind. If there's a problem, you could call. And then that morphed into me purchasing trips from the oldest travel agency in Italy. It's 105 years old now, and they're hugely solvent. To make a long story short, even during COVID, they gave every single one of their customers their money back because it was just good business. The other tour companies I dealt with, they gave a voucher. That was good for a year. And COVID lasted 2 years. Anyway, so it's a fantastic company. I get to customize the tours a little bit. I just couldn't be happier. The guests are happy, and they have the buying power. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I mean, the tours are literally like half the price and twice as good. So Chuck, what are some of the other benefits of traveling with you and Coco's? Well, there's a lot of behind the scenes type of things. There's really nothing, there's no place that I personally haven't been to. I've been doing the trips for 7 years, but I've been going to Italy even, before that. So there's really nothing I haven't done and or seen. I know where we're going. I know the people. They're expecting us. I don't know, they've become like personal friends. I limit the trips to 24 people, and that makes it a little more, I don't want to say exclusive, but it's a perfect number, 12 couples. Well, it's actually 24 including me, so like usually it's like 10 couples. And, there's like, you could feel like safer in numbers, but you're not on a big bus of 50 people. The tour company I use has a nice phone app. It updates, it knows where you're at, it tells you good morning, here's what you can expect. We organize a web page for sharing pictures. We all share pictures amongst each other. Actually, only 3 weeks ago from this recording, we had a reunion dinner, you could say. We just got back from a trip. 3 weeks later, we all got together, and I had appetizers for everybody and cocktails, and we shared pictures and lots of laughs. So that's another thing. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. You can cancel right up to the day of the trip with the insurance. We can talk about that after. This is just in general. And I go to Italy at least twice, if not more, a year. We've got great reviews. And I think my biggest compliment is that just in a few short years of doing these trips, that I've already have customers, many customers have been on at least 2 trips, now 3 trips with me. And that's, to me, that's the biggest compliment. Chuck, you mentioned the price is so low. Does the low cost reflect on the quality or the experience of what you do on your tours? No, I know what you're thinking, but there's several reasons why they're so low. First off, I do our trips like spring and fall, but early spring, late fall. We're on the cusp of this travel season opening. So right there is $500 to $1,000 cheaper. If you're in high season, the same trip would be at least $1,000, if not more, higher. Plus, I like the weather. You know, it's very hot in Italy. I mean, very hot. So definitely spring and fall, like windbreaker. Not cold, you know, but that's one reason why it's not so expensive. The other thing is like just the buying power that I didn't have of having this tour company. I mean, they do, I don't know, tens of thousands of people. They just really knock it out of the water. I know because just the price of like staying on the Grand Canal in Venice would be half the price of the tour. You know what I'm saying? So they have to be pre-purchasing, you know, the hotel rooms. The flights would cost you a couple $1,000. They're like $650 round trip. I mean, on Delta, and that's just your basic seat, but you can upgrade. So things like that, things that I just do not have the power as an individual, you know, traveler. Or I think probably also because I planned the trip like a year in advance, that really helps with the cost, you know. And I buy the trip out and then I just sell it. But I've sold out. I've never not had someone not show up. So included in the price is your airfare, you know, from Nashville, but sometimes you have friends, you know, they're coming in from other cities and they just fly out from other cities. Maybe we meet up on the East Coast, fly out of New York or something like that. Sometimes we meet up and our first stop could be Rome, from New York to Rome, or London or Frankfurt sometimes, things like that. So the price includes all the transportation, all your hotels, your tour every day. Every day we have an excursion. And 2 meals a day. So obviously breakfast, and we either have lunch or a dinner planned. If we don't have lunch, then, you know, I help you out. So we always have free time every day. So during the free time, you know, people want to go shopping, they want to go back to the museum, they want to see this again, or, hey, the tour guide mentioned something. And it's like, yep. And so I've been there, I guide you to it. You want to sit at this cafe, you want a pizza, you wanted seafood, you know, I get you all set up like that. Now, I'm not the only tour guide. I always use this one particular fantastic tour guide, Angela, and she does all the tours. And even on like my last tour, because I brag about her so much, within an hour, people are like, I see why you choose Mari. She's magic. And gives you that confidence, you know, like, hey, everything's going to be okay, you know, and we got you. Yeah, so going with me, you do have that extra level of comfort. Obviously, I spent a lot of time in Italy. I'm there for at least a month out of the year, every year. And there's 2 tour guides, not just me. And the driver, actually, is fantastic, too. So anyways, but it's our tour. It's our group. These are my people. And if it's not like our Nashville customers, then it's like somebody's sister, blah, blah, blah. So there's a connection. And, you know, so it's a Nashville group. If you went on another tour with like 50 people, and, you know, it just takes a long time to mesh, and you may never mesh, if that's important or not. But anyways, and we have a great time, and I make sure of it. That's my goal, is to make sure you want to do another tour with me. That's how I think about it. And I really want to make you at ease. So, like, for example, if you can imagine, you land in Italy, you're by yourself, and the first thing is like, you go down to, you know, do I go left, do I go right? I don't know. Everyone's walking this way, we'll just walk this way. I don't read, you know, Italian, I don't speak Italian. People are nice, so you have nothing to worry about, but I've been warned about pickpockets and gypsy cabs and things like that. Is this guy legitimate? And, you know, is the price too high? should I change money now? There's a whole bunch of money exchange places. I cover all that stuff before we go. Did I bring enough? All the anxiety of traveling in a foreign country, you're not gonna die. It's not like millions of people go to Italy every year. It's not that. It's just like there's no anxiety with me. There's no second guessing, because I've already done this so many times. I really got it down. You can just, this level of, there's no anxiety. If you were on your own, you'd always be second guessing yourself. I know the first few times I went, I paid a lot of money. I second guessed myself. I was like, well, next time I do, I'll do it this way. The next time I do, well, I've done it so many times, I've got all that out of the way for you. So, and I know the language enough, to get us through, but believe me, I think that's really, if you could say I'm selling anything, that's what I'm selling. Really a good level of comfort for you to really enjoy yourself. How are the hotels? So all the hotels are 4-star rated or higher to the European standards. The hotels are going to be beautiful, every one of them, I promise. But these are repurposed buildings. Like there were nuns and there were priests and they were built in the 1400s and there's no electricity. I mean, they look modern, but the ceilings and the floors are false. You would never know that, but that's where now they added electricity and HVAC and plumbing underneath. So you're really, on another room. But it's funny because in Italy, they don't tear anything down. It's like in America, they knock it down, put up a Walgreens. It's just the way it is, not right or wrong, it's just the way it is. There, that's not what happens. So, like most of the restaurants are gonna be like long and skinny. Honestly, it's not uncommon to use the restroom. You have to go downstairs, or sometimes you have to go crouch through a tunnel. I mean, it's just really amazing how the buildings are, you'll go through a tunnel, you'll pop out on another thing, go up the stairs, and there's your restroom. It's funny and it's all part of the adventure. But the hotels are all fantastic. Every room will be a little different. Some will be bigger, some will be smaller, but let me tell you, and they're all clean. You're tired. Once your head hits the pillow, you had a great day. A lot of fresh air, nice strolling around, you had a couple good meals, you fall asleep. I don't think I've ever turned the television on in years. I don't even bother. There's no time. You just, do your texting to your friends, send some pictures, and you're asleep. So the hotels they're 100% great. When you're in Italy, you don't want to stay in a chain hotel. You want that unique experience, and they're proud of their hotels too. You're going to just love them, I promise you. All right, so Chuck, why not just jump on any other tour? My mom and her cousin, they've done bus tours, and actually my uncle was a tour director, believe it or not, in New York, where he used to do pizza tours through Brooklyn, and then he's a great guy. But anyways, if you do a tour in Europe, and you're in a bus full of strangers, and that's fine, all gregarious people, all having a good time, you're all on the same adventure. But there's something really special if we're all from Nashville or related to someone from the group. First off, you got me to talk to. You got a lot of questions. I answer all your questions. Before we go, we have a get-together dinner. And I host the dinner in the event center. I answer all the questions about exchanging your money. Do I bring a hairdryer? How do I pack? Shoes, you name it. I answer all those questions. Then we talk about each other, like, hey, I'm John, and I was a police officer, and I'm retired, and and I'm Mary, and I was a nurse, and so I'm a school teacher. And what are your hobbies? And it's really nice. So we don't really leave as strangers. We all meet at the airport. I help everyone, go through, get your bags and everything set and all that good stuff. And then we have a smaller bus. The buses are modern. They have Wi-Fi now, big windows, plenty of leg room. The bus fits, say, 35, we're 24, plenty of room for everybody. So I like that a lot. And I think to continue with that question, you could say you're nervous if you're traveling with a bunch of strangers, stuff like that. But, with my preliminary meeting and meetups and things like that, it's great. People have become lifelong friends, I think. since these trips. Again, like I said, I have a reunion dinner after, like to exchange pictures. And several years ago, before COVID, every single person showed up. So that's great too. The only people who don't show up usually are who came from far away, kind of thing. So, I've booked on my own. Obviously, I went on vacations to Italy. And I know, looking back, I had a great time, but I paid a lot of money, and I paid retail prices. And the worst part, I think, is like you go down these internet rabbit holes, and you might love that. That might be your thing. Research, and just book on, booking.com or whatever. I kind of taken care of all that. I'm always tweaking the tours too. Like if, hey, take this away, add this. There are too many wineries. Let's do a cheese factory kind of thing. And then how much leisure time is good time to have, and you do have to rest too. It's a lot. You don't even realize how much you've seen until you come back. And then your camera says to you, a year ago you were here, and you start looking at the pictures like, oh my God, that was amazing. Oh my God, that was amazing. Thank God for my camera giving me a reminder. I think that's when I really realized how special and crazy fabulous going to Italy is. I just love getting my reminders on my phone. You were here, here I am with a sheep, and then I'm at this in front of David, and now, I'm having limoncello, and I'm going through the Alps, and, all sorts of, Sicily, and there's eggplant, on a vine. It's just, anyway, I kind of getting lost here in my thoughts. Actually, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. So, but, booking on your own, honestly, you'll pay twice as much. You just do not have the buying power from me pre-purchasing these tours. But if you have to book on your own because the timing doesn't work, I'll definitely sit down with you. On Tuesday of this week, I bought this gentleman and his girlfriend dinner on me, just so I could, because I could never in clear conscience not answer the questions they had. He had a notepad, he asked questions. How much do I owe you for dinner? Don't worry about it. I'm just happy I could help because he's a retired gentleman. He's put his, it's the least I could do, for him, them. But anyway, I'll be happy to talk to anybody about. I love Italy, and I'm really, you can tell, I just want people to see it, fall in love with it the way I do. So, oh yeah, travel protection. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to tell you a story. Now, there's 24 people, something happens, and it's happened. It's just inevitable. I've had to take someone to get stitches. Then I've had to take someone to the consulate because they lost their passport. I had to take somebody to an optometrist because their contact was cut and up in their eye. So things happen. So the travel insurance, they are self-insured. I really recommend you get it, or at least maybe through your credit card, something. Because things do happen. Actually, I got an earache. I missed 2 days until finally a doctor came to the hotel and whatever, it was $250. He wrote me a receipt and I got my money back. But things do happen. I think I got an earache through the flight. I'm not sure. Maybe because I had the headphones on or something like that. But with the travel insurance, 100% money back guarantee right up until the day of the trip. The joke is if you have a bad hair day and you just can't go with that haircut, no problem, you get your money back. It's at the moment, the price is $399 for the travel insurance. Some other things, like say we miss a day. For whatever reason, there's a storm, we miss a day, we'll get reimbursed for that day. Luggage, lost or delayed luggage, you get reimbursed for. Missed connections, if you purchase the air through me, you'll get reimbursed. Medical expenses, illness, injury, emergency evacuations, all that stuff is covered in the travel insurance. In fact, that travel insurance is so good, people have said to me, hey, I want to book whatever, but I want your travel insurance. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, it's only through the company I purchased it through, but it's that good. And people have, my seasoned travelers with me have requested it for other trips that they've done. So anyways, I definitely recommend the travel insurance of some time, and I'll help you, whether you get your own or through your credit card or through me. So in Italy, there's 20 states, and people often, what's the best place to go? And if it's your first time, Rome, Florence, Venice, Milan, kind of thing. And then people think of Italy. Sometimes they think of Tuscany, or they think of Italian food, and that's mostly like from Rome on down, Campania, Sicily. That's the palate Americans think of when they think of Italian food. And Puglia is amazing. That's the heel of the boot. Love going to Puglia. It's ancient, like prehistoric cave dwellings to the greatest towns, and just it's a coast on both sides, and the food and the people, everywhere the people are great. Piedmonte, the wines, and you got the risotto, the Swiss Alps, the water comes down. It looks like Vietnam, the rice paddies, they're there. Thomas Jefferson took rice from there to bring to America, So, I mean, there's no place. They've been there for 2,000 years. Every nook and cranny is done up, and it's bright, and it's great. So I do a lot of Tuscany trips. People want Tuscany. You never get tired of Tuscany. Of course, the big cities, and Puglia I love. I love going to Sicily. Did that one 3-4 times now. So basically, just look at my website. All my trips are there. I at least do 2. I'm probably going to do as many as like 4 next year, just to catch up from COVID. And I can just tell you, like, I know you still have a lot of questions. Just find me through our website. It's Destination Italy by Coco's. Go to contact, send me a message. I usually message you back with my personal phone number, start off with a text, I call you, and we talk. And I can tell you what trips are coming up next. You can look on the website and you can see all the trips I've been on, and then there'll be like to be announced, and then you'll see some dates. So that's all on my Destination Italy by Coco's. And there's probably a link below, I'm sure.
Thanks for watching. I hope a lot of your questions were answered. Of course, I'm available by phone or email. Text me and I'll call you back. 615-474-5989. And I'll put the number below. If you want to have a seamless, enjoyable trip to Italy where all my friends are expecting us, and you can just get a hold of me and we'll all have a wonderful time. I am a lot of fun to travel with, and I take really good care of you. So please don't hesitate to call with any more questions, and you are welcome to send this on to your friends, and let's all plan a tour together. Until then, ciao for now.